It's time for the Drugless Doctor. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and life-changing program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. Welcome you once again to another episode of the Drugless Doctor. And today, what we're going to be talking about is energy. Do you have enough energy? When we have workshops at our office on energy, they are rocking because people seem to wake up tired, they go to bed tired. I'd like you to go to our website right now, Drugless Doctors, that's DRS.com, and download the notes, the outline, so you can follow along. I promise you, it'll make a huge difference in your life. Dr. Anthony.
Now, one of the questions we commonly get on some of the topics that we're talking about is why would a chiropractor want to be talking about energy? That's a very great question. Now, the answer for that is that when we're working with our practice members, we're concerned with optimal function in their body and making sure that they're getting up to their very best potential. So this topic of energy is going to be important for our practice members, but it's important for you at home that's watching this right now. So as chiropractors, we work with the nervous system. So I have this extra large safety pin here to reiterate what we do as chiropractors. So let's say the top of the safety pin is like the brain. And the other parts of the safety pin are the areas where the messages that are leaving the brain and going to the body sending messages back to the brain, and it's a nice little cycle. But whether there's interferences in our life, whether they're negative thoughts, traumas, toxins, that causes a disconnect, or that interference we call in subluxation, in chiropractic is called a subluxation. So we work on trying to identify those areas of subluxation or interferences so that your body can be reconnected as one, so that the proper messages can be sent from the brain to the body back to the brain, and you can reach your full potential. So the question that I would ask you right now is, if this is going on, are you able to reach your full potential? I don't think so. So chiropractically, we adjust our practice members and help their nervous system function at 100%. So when it comes to energy, we've identified different areas that rob our body of energy and different areas that can help supply energy to your body. Now, what do we mean by that word energy? Some people are like, I don't know what they're talking about. Are they talking about like a power plant, or what's going on? So energy is your ability to get through the day. Are you fatigued? Are you tired at 10 in the morning, 3 in the morning? Are you ready to take a nap? Can you take 10 hours of sleep and wake up and not feel refreshed? What we're going to be talking about is how to get your energy back and how to keep it back there. Take it away, Dr. Bob.
Well, an area that we have seen that depletes individuals of energy happens to be sugar. And the area of sugar I'm going to talk about right now is how your blood sugar goes up and how your blood sugar goes down. And there are a lot of common foods like sweet tarts and these Skittles, in my observation, because we talk about this in Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days, these are like death balls. If you look at the ingredients of Skittles, you'd be appalled. But I do want you to know, I'm being very sarcastic, they're gluten-free. Sugar. The average American consumes about 28 teaspoons of sugar every day. And here's what happens. If you eat something sweet at the beginning of the day, what goes on is your blood sugar goes up, insulin's released, and then it bottoms out. Right about 10:30, like Dr. Anthony was saying, you're fatigued. Then you're going to get a coffee break, and that coffee break usually has a pastry up, and your blood sugar goes back up, and then it goes back down again. So most of you watching us right now are living on a roller coaster. You know, we live along the roller coaster, but you're living a roller coaster life of highs and lows of sugar. And it has been suggested that the addiction to sugar is even more intense to the addiction of cocaine, because I know, and you can just be honest with yourself, do you have to have something sweet every day? And if you answered yes to that, you're heading for a disaster, a train wreck. And it's time to make some appropriate changes to stop that crash. Dr. Kaysen.
If there was one food group that you could work on eliminating to help improve your energy, do you know what it would be? It would be bread, it would be gluten, other carbohydrates that maybe you're eating on an everyday basis. So if you think about gluten, gluten is rye, spelt, oat, grain. Even if it's wheat or whole grain, those are still carbs that turn into sugar in the body. Could be cereals, pancakes, waffles, any kind of breads, anything. If you look at today in any packaging, most of the time it has gluten in it. And if it is something that says gluten-free, in place of that gluten-free food, they have sugars and preservatives. Now, I can tell you that, especially seeing a lot of kids and a lot of families in our practice, when I ask these young children that might have focus or even ADHD symptoms, I ask them, what's your favorite food? Most of the time, I just had a little child yesterday, his favorite food is macaroni and cheese and pizza. And I can tell you, even looking at school lunch programs right now, hot dogs and pizza and all of these packaged foods, do you think you would be putting the right jet fuel in your child going to school to help with their energy throughout the day if you're going to be eating all these different items? No. So throughout the day, if your child or even yourself, you're having these blood sugar challenges that Dr. Bob was talking about, one of the simplest things you can do to increase your energy would be to, number one, start identifying the areas that you could be eating grains and start transitioning to something like brown rice, or we have a great almond butter bread recipe on our website. And once you start, you're never going to go back to those grains and gluten when you start seeing what other challenges it could be causing in your body, especially with your energy.
Another area that's robbing your body of energy has to do with this right here, your friend, the alarm clock. Many of you, when I have conversations with practice members or people out in the world, they're talking about not getting enough sleep. Every time I ask someone to raise their hand, how many people got 8 hours of sleep last night? And it's a very low percentage of you. So I would encourage yourself to make sure that you can get in bed by 10 o'clock. Well, I can't get in bed till 11, Dr. Anthony. Get in bed by 10 o'clock. One of the reasons why is our body has hormonal cycles. Our body's natural cycle of release of melatonin peaks at 10 o'clock. So if you go to bed later than 10, you're missing your very best opportunity to get restful, peaceful night's sleep every single night. So a good way to do this is get in bed by 10 o'clock, have a good routine for sleep at nighttime, and do something like read something that could be a little dull or dry before going to bed to help you get the proper sleep that you need in order to get energy back. Now, there's another area with sleep that's important, is you might get too much sleep, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, and you're still exhausted when you wake up. There's another area that we'll talk about a little bit later that would be contributing to your lack of energy. What's the next area there, Dr. Bob?
Well, I know that so many of you, they say statistically 80% of all hospitalizations can be directly related to stress. So let me talk to you about what stress does to your body. Stress lowers your pH. Your pH in your body becomes acid. Acid pH has to be balanced by minerals. So stress robs minerals from your body. Minerals act as the spark plug for your body. In the machine, in a motor vehicle, the spark plug is what ignites the fuel, which is the petrol that you eat. So what Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen have been talking about, what you eat is the octane for the fuel, but your body needs spark plugs for the fuel to get the piston to move, to turn the axle to get the car to go forward. So in chiropractic, in our practice, we know we have to have the nervous system send the message to the spark plug. Hopefully you have the right fuel for the engine to go. But what we have learned in our practice is this. So many of you watching us right now have excess copper in your body. So what does that mean, Dr. Bob? Well, when you have elevated copper, you have low zinc. Zinc is one of the most important spark plugs in your body for proper oil and fat metabolism. A common body signal for mineral deficiencies would include white spots on your fingernails, large pores on your face. You could have leg cramps in your body at night. You could get dizzy from a sit to a stand position. I'm going to encourage you to watch this video over again. You're going to want to go to the internet, you're going to go to YouTube, and you can just type in the Drugless Doctors and energy just to learn more about what's going on inside of your body. There's a tremendous book that I would encourage you to get, and it was from a woman by the name of Ann Louise Gittleman. Ann Louise wrote the forward to a Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 book. The title of her book is Why Am I Always So Tired? I'll say that again. Why am I always so tired? And believe it or not, most vegans or vegetarians that come into our office tend to be tired and sluggish. That's a typical American vegan who consumes too much pasta and not enough vegetables and protein. So this is a big puzzle, isn't it?
It's a huge puzzle, and at home, if you're tired all the time, if you're tired when you first wake up in the morning, if you're tired after you get 10 hours of sleep, if you're tired after you eat lunch or a big meal, these are also body signals that you could be having some adrenal gland compromise in your body. What are the adrenal glands? You may have heard of adrenal fatigue before. Maybe you've heard of stress in the adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys, and they are very important organs to help secrete those stress hormones for you to be able to adapt. Now, if your blood pressure drops from a sit to a stand position, that's also an indication that you could be having some adrenal stress. These are organs that you want to make sure that you are supporting on a regular basis to help you in overall stressful situations.
Another area that we find that's common to having low energy is thyroid dysfunction, whether it's low or hypo or high or hyper function. We find that thyroid dysfunction has a lot to do with low energy. What we would encourage you to do is if you have subpar thyroid function is to get a blood test in order to find out what nutrients you would need. Another area that could be contributing to lack of energy is your posture. I know many of you like to do this on the computer, or you're doing this with your phone, or you're reading a book and your head's in this position. When your head comes in the forward area, it puts stress and pressure on your spine and your nervous system, and it compromises function in your body. So for every inch that your head's forward from the rest of your body, it puts between 10 and 12 pounds of pressure on your spine and your nervous system, compromising function and contributing to fatigue. Now, we're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about solutions on how to get your energy back. In the meantime, check out our website, druglessdrs.com. Go to blog, print out this outline, and follow along with us so you can share this information with your friends and family members.
I'm a chiropractor because my goal, my passion is to help people get better without medication.
There's different types of chiropractic. I wanted to be involved in something that was bigger than myself.
Here I would say it's been so much more than just seeing those lives transform. It's been being able to be a part of their transformation.
Wellness is a state of mental, social, and physical well-being.
Really, wellness is from the inside out, being able to have your body make the decisions on its own, naturally, without drugs, medications, or surgeries.
We work and strive at addressing each one of those different facets of wellness so that it's really a well-rounded overall approach for an individual.
I think the atmosphere is really very welcoming. I think all three really work well together as a team.
It's much more than you would find somewhere else. The individuality of it, the recommendations, the doctor's expertise.
We do not use a cookie cutter plan. Every person that comes into our office is very unique, and they have specific plans and treatment protocols specific for their findings.
Utilizing our innovative tools and technology, we're able to get the best results and faster, and it's really easy on the practice member, specifically with the thermal scans that we do. By measuring the ambient skin temperature, we're able to measure from each assessment how the pattern's changing.
We offer digital video fluoroscopy, motion films of a person's spine, getting right to the root cause.
from someone that was previously diagnosed with ADHD and was having developmental delays in speech, working with them here and seeing the transformation of them developmentally, other things, attention span, energy, colic, all these things that are improving over a period of time.
So whether it's a little baby that's getting adjusted for the first time, or a mom that's getting adjusted, or an athlete, it's really cool to see what we're able to do and how that can impact their life for the long term.
The two things, chiropractic care and nutrition, go hand in hand, and you really need both components. You can't just say, I'll do whatever I want nutritionally and then just have chiropractic care and Dr. Bob will just fix me. Really, you have to have both going together.
In our wellness store, we offer a variety of different products. They're all professional lines and products that are tried and true. We have many different types of evaluations and assessments that can tell us what supplement is going to be best for one of our practice members here in the office, so that we're just not throwing the dice when it comes to their health.
The Drugless Doctors is very forward-thinking. It's a lot different than anything else that I had ever seen before, so I felt like I was learning something new.
We have information on social media, our website, our blog. We do TV programs, so we're always putting out good quality information, because more often than not I hear from somebody, I never knew that, or I got that information from a magazine or a TV program and I never really knew that that wasn't correct.
So being able to give them simple tools and natural principles that they can be able to empower themselves to make every day, that's really, it's really exciting for me to be able to see people and their changed lifestyles.
Come and join us and participate with natural drugless chiropractic care. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria with a continuation of our episode of energy. Now, there are many reasons for your energy to be high and low. I'd encourage you to go to our website, which is Drugless Doctors, that's drs.com. Print out the blog like Dr. Anthony said earlier, print out the outline that's on our blog. What I want to talk to you about is Celtic sea salt. This is an item that I personally have used for years. Celtic sea salt is an unrefined salt that comes from the North Atlantic Ocean. I want you to think of this not as sodium causing high blood pressure, but Celtic sea salt is a mineral which acts as the spark plug in your body, allowing your body to function optimally.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is organic, and this product is one of my very favorite products. It helps to increase the oxygen in your body. And by increasing the oxygen in your body, you're able to increase your energy. Now, this is a great supplement for those that may have breathing challenges also. So asthma, previously diagnosed with COPD or other things that are going on. This is also something that our athletes use prior to a big race or a game, to help with their endurance and to give them that extra boost of oxygen, especially during those high times of performance.
Now, when it comes to energy, our energy being low, a lot of times it has to do with the body need for minerals, just like Dr. Bob was talking about Celtic sea salt. One of the supplements I like to use is called Multimins. I use this on a regular basis myself. Multimins has a variety of different mineral sources, from manganese and molybdenum and some things like chromium and selenium that you might not be getting from in your diet. This is a supplement source of minerals. I know it's really helpful for a lot of people that have energy challenges in our office.
We have been really fortunate to find two companies that provide for us adrenal support. And probably one of the biggest deficiencies that we also see in our practice are people who are exhausted. This is very common in women that have adrenal glands that are not up to par. And one of the tests that we do for that is we take our practice members' blood pressure both sitting and then we have them stand up. And if your blood pressure drops from a sit to a stand position, that's a body signal to us that you need some adrenal gland support. So this is a neonatal glandular source of adrenal tissue that helps your adrenal glands have the nutrients for repair. Adrenal support from Gaia herbs, and we have found from our experience that Gaia herbs is probably one of the finest sources of herbs in the world. These herbs are literally grown in the United States and the Carolinas. This particular product will help support on the herbal level and restoration of your adrenal glands. We have had people with chronic health problems respond just by using these two items alone, but stress sabotages adrenal gland function. And make sure you get plenty of sleep, that I know that we have talked about in the past.
Okay, so another area that it comes to making sure that we get our energy back, as we talked briefly before the break, was thyroid. Now, if you have subthyroid function, we would encourage you to get a thyroid panel. When taking a look at that thyroid panel, we'd be able to talk about the specific nutrients that you would need in order to rebuild thyroid function. The next area that Dr. Kaysen is going to talk about is something that has to do with B vitamins, going to be extremely helpful for yourself.
The next thing that we utilize in our office is something called Bio3BG. And this is a supplement that's a combination of different B vitamins. So it has B1, B2, B6, B12. It is a plethora of different B vitamins that could help to support you, especially during stressful times. But specifically, the Bio3BG is great for those people that are always tired, chronically fatigued. They may have sore muscles all the time. And this is something that you could take for a 2-month period, and you would take 2 tablets every hour for 2 months. You might be thinking, every hour for 2 months, 2 tablets of that. And the B vitamins, what's great about B vitamins are they are water soluble. So what that means is your body utilizes what it needs, and then you would urinate it out. And I can tell you, unless your urination looks bright green and it's almost glowing, then you could definitely benefit from B vitamins. And that's one of the things that your body is robbed of, especially when we consume sugar and also stress.
A very interesting body signal for B vitamins, by the way, is crying easy, sore muscles after exercise, and if mosquitoes like you. Now, a little bit of a recap. Sugar will paralyze your body's blood sugar ability. You're not going to be staying steady as they go. So just be aware of how much sugar is in some of the items that you've been unwisely choosing. And another thought is making sure that you eat well. We do not promote fruit, a half an apple a day. There's another tremendous book called Adrenal Fatigue by James Wilson. Adrenal Fatigue by James Wilson. So if you minimize sugar, if you eat well, and if you move well, your body will function on all the proper cylinders.
Now I want to go back to that move well there, Dr. Bob. Most people don't do enough exercise. And you know, I'm talking to you right now. I'm staring into your soul. You should have got up 20 minutes earlier this morning so you're able to go outside and do some sort of exercise. And I know how beneficial that'll be for yourself. But you'll say, I'm so tired that I can't exercise. Well, you can't afford not to exercise. People that exercise are happier, have better attitudes, have better bowel movements, they sleep better, they breathe better, they're more energized throughout the day. So what I want you to do is repeat our favorite phrase after me. Exercise is fun. Now go ahead, say it again. Exercise is fun. So you guys, I would encourage you, something I do on a regular basis is get outside, enjoy 20 minutes of exercise, whether it's walking, running, riding a bike, throwing